Beauty of the Ugly Ghost, Part 4. A story by Tales. The crowd had scattered, but Nonso remained frozen, with his eyes locked on the woman who wore Chinaya's face but carried fire in her eyes that he had never seen before. She spat on the ground and pointed at him. "You the craze? Who be ghost? You won't spoil my market?" Her voice was rough and her words sharp like a broken bottle. Nonso stepped back, his heart pounding like ancestral drums. "Chinaya, it's you," he whispered. The lady laughed. "Who be Chinaya? I be Ada. Ada Fire. Ada Pepper Body. Ada Wahala Pro Max. See, you better call me Ada Lagos Heat. Ada Hookline. Ada Hazel Queen. And stop saying Chinaya, Chinaya, Chinaya like a he-goat." And with a flick of her wrist, she walked away into the smoky alleys of the night. But Nonso could not move. His spirit stayed, reflecting on the way she blinked, the tiny scar by her ear, even the way she walked. It was her, he thought. Or was grief making him see things that were not there? That night, he could not sleep. Then his brother tried to comfort him, saying, "Bro, Abuja is big. Forget ghosts. Focus on the business. Start life afresh." But Nonso thought, how could I forget a face carved into my dreams? Meanwhile, in the land of the immortals, Chinaya stood by the Mirror River. She watched it all. The slap, the scream, the sorrow in Nonso's eyes. And beside her stood an elder spirit, dressed in white with eyes like the moon. "You have interfered," the spirit said. "You summoned your twin before her time." Then Chinaya bowed her head. "I didn't mean to. I just wanted Mama to smile again. And I wanted Nonso to find love again." The spirit sighed deeply. "Every soul must walk its paths," the spirit said. "Even twins born from the same womb carry different destinies. You must not force them to become you, Chinaya." Chinaya's tears fell. She knew she was not 100% right. She now left the battle to Faith. Back on Earth, Adafaya sat alone in her small room. The slap she gave the polished madman still stung in her palms. But what troubled her more was the name he called her. "Chinaya," she whispered the name by herself into the night. That name stirred something in her, a strange pain deep in her chest, a memory she couldn't reach, a shadow in her dreams. She opened an old wooden box under her bed, the only thing she had ever kept. Inside was a cloth, old and torn, with the name Chinaya embroidered in red thread. The name she had carried but never understood. A name the orphanage told her was not hers. She held it to her chest and asked the wind, "Who am I really?" The next evening, Nonso went back to the alley. He had to see her again. He needed answers. And there she was, Adafaya, bargaining with a taxi driver. He stepped forward slowly. "I'm sorry about last night," he said, "but you look like a ghost who has been hunting me. You carry her eyes." Ada looked at him, something soft flickering behind her fire. "Tell me about her," she requested. And that's how Ada and Nonso had a heart-to-heart conversation in the silence of the night, not bothered by noise and dust. Nonso told her everything about Chinaya and how he miraculously encountered her ghosts, the grave, the fire, the tears. By the time he finished, Ada was silent. Then she said, I don't know who I am, but what you said felt like a song I have heard before. So what do we do now? Nonso asked. Then Ada replied, I know of a sorcerer. He is the only solution we have now. But just as a bond began to form, far away in Lagos, Chinaye's mother received a mysterious letter. There were no stamps, no name, only four words written in a shaky hand. Chinaya lives in Abuja. It reads. She dropped the letter. Her hands trembled. Is this madness or a message from the gods? She asked fiercely. Meanwhile, before noon the following day, something sacred was stirring in a quiet corner of Abuja. Adafaya stood in front of an old shrine, her palms sweaty, her breath uneasy. She had brought Nonso there, not to force answers, but to seek clarity. Just sit, the old priestess said. Close your eyes. Let the spirit speak. Ada obeyed, though fear gnawed at her bones. As the drums began to beat softly and incense filled the air, her mind wandered. Suddenly, she was a little girl, clutching her sister's hand. At the waterfall, they were running, running from something, a river, a fall, a scream. She gasped and opened her eyes. The priestess stared into her soul. You are not who you think you are. The one you call Chinaya is your twin. You were separated by pain, but joined by spirits. Nonso trembled where he stood. He had suspected it, but hearing it out loud felt like touching lightning. Ada could barely breathe. So, I am Chinaye's blood? The priestess nodded slowly. You carry half her soul. That is why her memories call to you in your sleep. Ada fell to her knees. She cried like a baby. Her tears were real, raw, and heavy. Why was I lost? Why didn't she find me? But the priestess only said, not all things are meant to be found in the same season. The gods are not late. They were waiting for this moment. Meanwhile, in the heart of a Lagos mansion, Mama Chinaya sat sorrowfully in front of her mirror, the mysterious letter still clutched in her hands. She spoke to her mirror, her voice trembling like a widow's song. If you are truly alive, Chinaya, or if your twin walks this earth, give me a sign. And just then, she suddenly slept off. She saw herself by the river. A white dove flew across the sky and landed beside her. Written on the dove's feathers was one word, Mama. She gasped. The earth beneath her feet rotated. Then she thought of the dove in her dreams. It was the same dove Chinaya had as a pet when she was younger. She gave it the name Ada, but Ada was not the name of her twin sister. Her twin sister was called Chinonye. They lost her after her own father, struggling with alcoholism, abducted her. After the flashback, she fell to her knees, weeping. God of my ancestors, take me to her. Let me see her face before my soul returns to dust. Watch out for the final episode titled The Return of the Mother. Will Chinaye's mother reach Abuja in time? Can Ada embrace her past and future? Will Nonso find peace again? Or will he be torn between two souls? Stay with us, dear viewers. The river of destiny still flows until the final episode. Bye.